Hello neighbors, it's your town supervisor, Joseph D. Cavaccini, coming to you today with an important update on a few things that have been going on over the past summer, which is hard to believe is coming to an end. But it has surely been a busy, fun-filled summer here in the town of Wappinger, and we're getting a lot of things done, especially in our parks and infrastructure. If you've been out in some of our parks, you'll notice a number of really great improvements have been happening. Since we've taken office. Our Buildings and Grounds Department has been very busy undertaking a number of improvements, from renovating our restroom facilities, some of which have been closed for a decade in our parks, to undertaking drainage projects, working with the Highway Department out at Brexel Schlotthaus Park. We just opened up a new swing set out at Spook Hill Park, and we're going to start installing new outdoor exercise equipment as well. This all comes from our Wappinger Parkland Infrastructure Improvement Act, and fortunately, due to funds approved by the town board. We continue to improve our infrastructure all across our parks and facilities as they remain great centers of community for us to gather with family, friends, and neighbors all across the town. It's been very exciting to see. As you know, parks are something that are very near and dear to my heart, and very near and dear to many of you. So encouraging our families to go out and use them and offering more events in them is all part of our plan here. We recently hosted a great music festival in support of mental health and suicide prevention. That was the James's Warriors No One Rocks Alone Music Festival earlier in July. And then in August we hosted a car show and a day at the park at Brexel Schlotthaus Park in memory of Melanie Chianese, and that was in support of domestic violence. We continue to work together with various community groups to have these activities throughout the town. We have also continued to engage our public-private partnerships and offering programs and services to the town at no cost to the taxpayer. In fact, we just started a camp program for our youth out at Castle Point Park, which has allowed that park to be used, something that hasn't happened for quite some time. So it's great to see people out and about using our facilities. You're going to start seeing very soon the Major Daniel Martz Vietnam Memorial come to life out at Martz Field Recreation Facility. The memorial stone that currently sits in the corner of the parking lot will be moved to a brand new entry plaza as you enter into the park there, which will be a truly beautiful testament to his service as the first Dutchess County resident to die in Vietnam, and all those who served our country in the Vietnam conflict. So you'll be seeing that come to life very soon, and it's a great new addition, thanks to my colleagues on the town board for supporting us in that. As we continue to improve our parks infrastructure, we also are addressing our sewer infrastructure. When it comes to your utilities provided by the town, we take great pride in offering you strong, efficient service. Something that has been talked about for a very long time is our 3 sewer treatment plants that the town owns and operates within the town: Wildwood, Fleetwood, and Midpoint Park. As you've seen from some of our town board meetings, we have been very aggressive when it comes to grant funding, which we are out applying for a number of grants from the EPA and from the state government. As we do this, we are looking at ways how we can be cost effective and work to get these plants operational within New York State limits. Our New York State government continues to change limits here and there, and they remain unfunded mandates. The town attorney, the engineer, myself, and our grant writer, and our water and sewer operator went up to meet at the DEC regional headquarters to advocate the town's needs to them. And fortunately, they were very supportive. I am proud to say that our plants are run in very well top capacity and as efficiently as possible. But we are looking at ways to make them even more efficient and bring them within state standards. Fortunately, due to these conversations, they have agreed to allow us to change some things. And that's what I wanted to talk about today. Prior administrations had rather lofty ideas, whether that was to decommission plants and run lines out to the town of East Fishkill or to run lines to Tri-Municipal. The plans, although well-intentioned, would have totaled millions and millions of dollars and would not have actually fully serviced the needs of these areas. In doing so, we are reevaluating the conditions of each of these plants and looking how we can have cost-saving measures to rebuild and do smaller capital improvement projects to keep them running. The state was very, very enthusiastic to hear that and actually encouraged us to do so, and we are going to continue to do that. So again, thank you to our town professionals in working with me on this and getting the DEC and the EPA in our corner to support some of these initiatives. At the end of the day, we do not want to put any undue cost burden onto you. We are very, very cognizant of the rising costs all throughout our country right now due to inflation, due to what's going on in our country. So if we can, on the town level, be innovative, and rather than just taking plans that were left to us or cookie cutter approach, we are trying to think outside the box to alleviate the cost and to be as cognizant of your tax dollars as possible. When it comes to that, our highway department is one of those departments as well, working around the clock in-house to do a variety of improvements to our facilities, such as the recent drainage project at Brexel-Schlotthaus Park. That was saving the town hundreds of thousands of dollars by doing that, based on previous engineered quotes. We were able to run 410 feet of drainage pipe at the park into a catch basin, and within 20 minutes drain a 40-year-old swamp out there, allowing us to use that park all in-house thanks to our highway department. When I took office, the town was in the middle of a renovation project at the highway garage. Again, although well-intentioned, you can tell that the costs were spiraling out of control, and the former project managers and engineers were not fully monitoring the project. When I took office, and we've previously noted this, we eliminated the consultants that were on that project. We let them go, and we started to empower our highway superintendent to be his own project manager, again, saving hundreds of thousands of dollars in taxpayer money by doing so. Also, empowering our highway department to do a lot of this work in-house. So, our highway garage has now got a CO for the first time in 50 years. We thank our highway department and their employees for their incredible work at bringing a lot of those previously contracted out services and projects in-house, having a safe break room and an area for them to stay during snowstorms rather than staying in the truck bays where they were subject to exhaust fumes and things like that. And thanks to them, we now have a state-of-the-art, beautiful facility up there at the highway department. Finances, as you saw at our last town board meeting, we had our financial update from our town comptroller, Jessica Servideo, which was hopefully eye-opening to a number of you. Each one of these topics that we've touched on today are all surrounding cost-saving measures and putting tax dollars back into the community. Again, your tax dollars should be seen and visible to you, otherwise we're just overtaxing you, and we don't want to do that. So we are always working on putting money back into our infrastructure and back into our community. The town, fortunately, is in very strong financial shape. We have a very strong bond rating. But with that comes the policies and procedures that were lacking internally. As I've noted in my State of the Town address, and as was noted at the financial update in July, the town was lacking basic policy and procedures. Employees were not being paid their full salary or overpaid. Retirement reports were not submitted correctly. There were double payments on vouchers and no payments to vendors for years on end. We have gotten this all under control now, and we continue to make significant strides through our comptroller's office on implementing a number of these policies and procedures to ensure that your tax dollars are spent well and are safeguarded. As I noted also during our State of the Town address, we diversified our funds. Rather than keeping town funding in one or two banks or depositories with low earning interest rates. We have spread it across a larger area and sought depositories with higher and stronger interest rates, coming around $60,000 a month in interest. This is cost savings to taxpayers that we will be able to again move forward with projects and improvements throughout the town, and we will take that into consideration come budget time, which the town comptroller and I have just completed our first round of department head and elected official meetings across the board here in the town, going over all of our finances and their budgetary needs as we start to craft what I consider to be a brand new budget. Every single one of our department heads either had questions on some of their budget lines as to what something was, or expressed the concern of restrictions within their budget. We will be overhauling our budget now to give our department heads more leniency to spend money that they have, whereas up in the highway department, our highway superintendent was restricted with what he could spend on pipes or risers every year, allowing him and our department heads again to be their own project managers with, again, all of these safeguards that we have now implemented here in the comptroller's office and in the supervisor's office. So we're excited to see how this budget comes out, and I'm looking forward to presenting it to the town board. Again, as we enter into budget season, that notes that summer is coming to an end. As I noted earlier in this program, we have had an amazing summer filled with events and activities and programs all across the board. We encourage you to, again, continue to go out and, come to our programs, whether it's First Saturdays in the Village and Houstonville, or some of the other activities that we have coming up. We encourage you to be a part of your community. Lastly, coming before the town board now, we have a number of code changes and local laws that are on the dais. This is something that comes following our moratorium in local law number 1. In doing so, we were able to stop and prevent 2,000 new units from coming into this town. Would have had a drastic impact on roads, parks, and infrastructure. Something that we, in schools, something that we cannot handle right now as the smallest geographical municipality and yet the second most densely populated. I have sent to the town board over the course of our summer vacation period 2 local laws for their consideration and hopefully adoption. These will strengthen our town code when it comes to overdevelopment and protect our quality of life when it comes to potentially harmful development and projects. We have made it very clear what we'd like to see in this town to developers and fostering innovative development when it comes to this town now. But these local laws will continue to start that process in protecting our quality of life, and we will continue to do so moving forward. If you have any questions or concerns about what's going on in your town government, please continue to follow up and stop into my office or reach out to me. We continue to remain vigilant on all of these fronts and more, from speeders going through neighborhoods and targeting the Wappinger Patrol in those areas, to being cognizant of fines and fees from the building department and how we can alleviate that pressure on our residents, and again, continuing to improve the efficiency and accountability of your town government. If there's, again, anything that we can do to help, please stop in. The door is always open. Thank you very much, and we'll see you soon.